Welcome in, folks. Nick Wilson, Clint, Thompson, David Murphree. This is Talk or Go Home, Season 5. Here we are back in the studio at the round table of decent lighting.
Yeah.
So, gentlemen, welcome in. Today's a little bit chilly. It's a little cold. Are y'all staying bundled up out there? We know you're warm.
Toasty warm. Yeah, I got my union suit on. I'm toasty warm.
He's got a union suit on.
I just want to preface this that this was completely not planned.
As you can tell by the way the three of us are dressed.
Yes, and the Dallas Cowboys are playing the San Francisco 49ers right now in the playoffs, and the roads are froze. So we may not be going home.
Well, I mean, there's
We'll just keep talking then.
I mean, if we can't go home, let's just keep talking.
Talk or stay here.
Not talk or go home. Talk or stay here. There's no, honestly, if the three of us got stuck here, there's no two other people I'd rather be stuck here with.
I've been stuck here before. We may really be stuck here.
When were you stuck here? Was it back in
Snowmageddon? Yeah.
2015?
I don't remember when it was.
I think that's right.
You got stuck here
6 or 7 years ago. Well, almost. Yeah.
Well,
we went home late.
Yeah. We almost got stuck here.
Yeah, went home. We were making sandwiches in the lunchroom late.
How'd you get home?
I drove home, but just drove my car home. It was pretty. I made it.
Which car was this?
Well, we got in the '98 Escort that my wife was driving at the time, because that would have been the best one I thought to get home in, because it was an automatic, but she hadn't put any gas in it, so it was on empty. So we had to drive because I didn't want to get caught with no gas, with no heat.
Yeah.
So I had to drive the 96 Hyundai. We made all right. It was
Now, the 96 Honda, you're talking about the limited edition?
The limited, yeah, the 10th anniversary.
The 10th anniversary edition.
Hyundai Accent, yes.
So 86 was when they came out with the first Accent?
I guess so, since it's 10th anniversary. Doing the math on it. And it's a 96.
That was some really quick math.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on math. I sent you that, didn't I?
But it's a 5-speed, so I figured the automatic would be better in the snow. But we made it, though. Just, I think, second gear, probably, all the way home.
Second gear all the way?
Mm-hmm. No roustabout or roundabout. Went that way.
No cow?
No roundabout down. No cow.
No cow.
In the roundabout or anything.
Yeah. So...
Because it wasn't there then. The roundabout wasn't there then.
We have told multiple stories within the past, 90 seconds with no context. So here's some context before we get to the cow. Okay?
That's the one you're going to end with?
Yeah, well, the Snowmageddon was, I believe, 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
And it was a winter weather event. However, it wasn't, they missed the mark on how bad it was going to be and how early it was going to get here. It got here earlier than they said, so everybody came to school, went to work, and then it hit boom sooner than everybody thought.
A lot of snow.
But it wasn't just the snow that got us. It was
the freezing temperatures.
The snow got on the roads, and then it melted, and then it got really, really cold, so then it turned to ice. So it's more of an ice-mageddon more than a Snowmageddon.
But then it did snow again after that.
Yes,
right?
and
it kept snowing.
Yeah. But that's what made it so bad and so impassable here in the South. I mean, it shut down the interstates here for several days. Atlanta as well. There are people stranded on the roads and things like that.
Because there are no.
Well, we're not prepped for that kind of stuff.
No. Well, it's not like
here in the South.
We couldn't makeshift a snowplow. We could. There are plenty of people with tractors that have buckets, but it's that we don't have anything to melt the ice. We don't have salt, sawdust,
sand.
Because they turned us loose that day from school
in a panic.
They ended school early, I guess, but then the buses couldn't run.
Right.
So
everybody had to come get their kid.
So everybody
and then
had
a lot
of
people couldn't come get their kid. So the teachers couldn't leave till all the kids were gone. So it's
because the buses they stopped them. They didn't run, and then we got home and was watching it on the news. All the people on the roads and stuff when it turned to ice.
See, I was working on the other side of Birmingham at the time, almost at Tuscaloosa, and we left. Whenever I left, it wasn't that bad, but in a good way, I made the conscious decision not to go 459. I went all the way 20 down through downtown Birmingham and everything, and some of the hills and stuff on 459 became impassable, and so luckily I was able to get home. Hour and a half long trip took me like 6 hours.
Oh yeah, people were just leaving their cars on the side of the road, just walking.
Yeah, it was. I remember it being really, really bad. There was another winter weather event that wasn't as surprising. People knew it was coming. But it got really, really bad in terms of how much snow and ice there were on the roads. And I think that was like 2016, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
2016, 2017, because I drove home from Auburn in it.
Okay.
Like an idiot. I mean, one lane.
The whole way.
One lane 280.
Yeah.
And it looked like a four-wheeler trail.
Right.
Because it was just rutted out. It was just, you saw just two tiny little lines of where somebody at some point before you had driven through the snow.
Right.
And, I mean, there were no lights on because 280 in between Auburn and Birmingham is fairly void of of
life,
sizable civilization. Yeah. So
I remember I was working local at that point, and I remember how pretty the snow. Now, it's still fairly dangerous because, again, we're not prepped for that kind of thing. But I remember how pretty the snow was. Like it was just really the way it was on the trees and the roads. It was just a blanket. Literally, it was just a blanket. It was.
Well,
it
right
was
now,
very
if you
nice.
go an hour and a half from
Like
here to
Ider?
Mentone,
Yeah.
2 hours from here to Mentone, Ider, DeKalb County in general, there's 2 to 3 inches of snow on the ground.
Yeah.
And
Right now.
outside of this room, there's
2 or 3 inches of water.
Water. It's straight up water. But then you go 2 hours south of us in Auburn, there's snow on the ground. If you go
Really?
3 hours southwest of us in Demopolis, Livingston, there's snow on the
Yeah,
ground.
it was snowing south of us this morning.
It
Wow.
snowed everywhere around
But
us.
here.
Yeah. It did not stick here where we are in the state of Alabama.
Well, Murphy's got on his union and
His union suit.
Yeah.
What does that mean, union suit? Why that term?
The top and the bottom. It's
Together.
It's all one. Yeah, all one. Yeah.
Oh, it's a
yeah,
union.
union. It doesn't have
I didn't
anything
know
to
if
do
it
with,
was a Civil War reference.
No, it don't have anything to do with the war between the states.
The war between the states.
Or the
absolutely.
War of Northern Aggression.
War of Northern
or
Aggression.
War of Southern Independence.
The War of Southern Independence.
Nothing of that.
Not the Civil War.
Well, it's not a civil war.
That's true. It's
We
not.
weren't civil.
By the definition of a civil
not a
war,
civil
it's not.
war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what's the goal of a civil war?
Well, the Confederates just wanted to leave and be left alone.
Yeah.
And it'd be a fight over the same government, one government.
Yeah. Yeah. He's the technicality of that argument is true because he's a history teacher. Did you know that? Did you know he was a history teacher?
I recall that. I believe he was my history teacher.
He was mine too. I think weren't you my history teacher?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I remember. I will never forget the powder keg.
Yeah. What war was that, Clint?
The powder keg?
Yeah.
The powder keg.
1812?
The powder keg. What's the rest of it though? I can't remember.
Never mind.
The powder
It's
keg
World
that
War I.
erupted.
Well, that wasn't World War I. It would be the Great War.
Yeah, the
well,
Great
the powder. Europe was just considered to be a powder keg waiting to explode because of all the nationalism, imperialism.
Archduke Francis Ferdinand.
Yeah,
His
Ferdinand.
assassination.
That was what ignited the powder keg. Yeah.
Yeah, that ignited the powder keg.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the song about, where they melted down the cannons, War of 1812. We started using the alligator.
Yeah.
That's where I thought we were going.
Okay, I can see where you think that we were going there. But so the cow. Okay. This is you're getting educated on how we think here because we've talked about winter weather and now we're going to talk about the great fiasco that was the cow at the roundabout.
Yep.
And I'm sure y'all have more information on this than I do.
Well, I still don't know. I'm still unsure. I followed it on Facebook, but I'm unsure whose cow it was.
Okay.
I know the person that got a lot of the blame, but I'm not going to mention.
Yeah,
the name.
and I don't think it was that person's cow.
I don't know whose it was.
No idea.
Somebody evidently hit it, and it was pretty bad, evidently.
That's what I heard.
So, that's all I know.
So for context, here in this small town in Alabama, there was a roundabout that was very recently installed. It's not even a year old.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite a year old yet.
And so that was a huge adjustment because people in this area aren't used to that sort of traffic.
Well, it's forever. It's been the main road.
It was a four-way.
No, it wasn't even a four-way.
That's true. It wasn't even a four-way. It was.
So there's a main road that goes through, and it would go through, and you would have to cross.
Three-way.
I guess a two-way. And you'd have to cross. There's been a lot of accidents there
a lot of
because
accidents,
there's kind of a blind hill and everything. Which the whole let's put a roundabout where there's still a blind hill.
Let's not shave off the hill.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's not necessarily the two-way stop or the throughway stop, however you want to call it. It's the limited sight distance over the hill.
Well, I think a lot of it was the signs there too.
Yes.
It was hard to see traffic because I've had that had that trouble there
right
too.
But anyway,
I was checking temperature.
Our solution instead of putting a red light up was put a roundabout up. Which I'll be honest, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to have any issues with a roundabout. I was more worried about everybody else having an issue with a roundabout.
Yeah,
and it's been fairly okay. I think there's been still a couple of accidents there, but I think it's been more the surprise of, hey, look, there's a roundabout here now. But
what do I do? What's this yield sign? Has anybody run through? Has anybody run through it yet?
You know, that's why I think that's why they haven't put like something in the middle of it. You know, a lot of roundabouts, especially out west, you see they will put some sort of like decoration, in the middle of it.
No, we talked about doing that.
I think we are going to do it, right?
Bulldog.
Yeah,
one night, in the middle of the night,
naming it David. David the dog.
Need to be sure it's styrofoam. Everything's styrofoam.
Whoosh, boom. Styrofoam bulldog.
Can you imagine how that thing would fly through the air?
That'd be awesome. We'd have to set up a camera though, just so we could see.
Yeah, at night I can't believe nobody's run through it.
Yeah, I can't either.
But it's well lit though. They install those lights. It is well lit at night, so it's technically a federal highway, right? It's 231 411. It's a federal highway, so they're in charge of maintaining it. Anyway. There was a cow, and there are many, many cow ranchers, farmers, herdists, whatever you want to call them. Ranchers, you might as well call them ranchers, or in this area, right?
Mm-hmm. A lot of cows.
There are a lot of cows as a result. A lot of cows by this roundabout specifically,
a lot of bulls.
Within a 5-mile radius. There are a lot of cows and bulls within a 5-mile radius of this roundabout. Well, somehow this one cow escaped and made its way to the roundabout. And
it's just south of the roundabout, is it not? It's not exactly at the roundabout.
It is a short distance from the roundabout, but it is not at the roundabout.
Was deceased. What they said on Facebook.
Yeah.
So
and see, okay, here we go. Nope, no, that's not it. I thought I'd screen capped the thing because it was hilarious. What did it say exactly?
Somebody's cow's out at the roundabout or something.
It started out well. It started out well.
Well,
that's what it said. So in our town, there is you're from Asheville or what's happening in Asheville, something like that, right? Here, why don't we go look at it? How about that?
Yeah, somebody hit a cow.
Is it what's happening in Asheville?
I don't know. Somebody hit a cow down there one time, or with the cow thing, and then y'all almost hit a horse down. We hit a horse in that same area. I almost hit a horse in that same area.
So the post is, well, whoever's cow is loose at the roundabout just caused a wreck.
So the way it was worded from the get-go.
I will say, even though there's not an apostrophe after well, the rest of it is pretty well written.
But see, the way that it's worded, like, it's just so nonchalant. Like,
yeah.
Well, whoever's cow's loose at the roundabout just caused a wreck.
Yeah, here we go again.
Here we go. Yeah, here we go again. There's something at the roundabout going on. Somebody's cow done got out.
There was a car hit the steps of the courthouse in Asheville.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
That's before y'all were born, probably.
That was the 80s, right?
I don't even remember when it happened. And then a truck ran through, an 18-wheeler ran under the red light and went right by, went between the flagpole and the courthouse.
Now that truck was full of manure, right?
No, I don't know what it was full of.
I've been told that a
oh no, I think you're talking about the chicken truck.
I'm talking about the chicken. Okay, that's what I'm talking
coming
about.
Through town that time.
Guys,
and it tumped over.
Well, no, it didn't tump over.
I love our little town. I'm just going to say that.
What happened with the chicken truck?
Well, the car hit somebody ran through the one red light.
Was the chicken litter truck? Let's get that straight.
No, it wasn't chicken litter truck.
It was chicken.
It was chickens.
Oh, it's chickens.
Chicken. Yeah, but so it smashed up the steps. Those are new steps down there. And then that 18-wheeler that lost its brakes going down the hill. I don't see how it kept from my mother worked in the courthouse then, but I don't see how it didn't just run right through the
It was a runaway semi.
Yeah, 18-wheeler running right down the hill straight toward the courthouse, and somehow the guy went in between the courthouse and the flagpole and missed it. I remember my mom talking about looking out the window, and there it goes by, but it hit like 10 cars. Nobody was in the cars. Nobody was at the red light. Didn't hurt anybody. But the chicken truck, this is like 100-degree days around here, and the power went out, and there's a lot of chicken houses. And the power went out, and they couldn't run any of the fans, nothing like that. Yeah. A lot of the chickens died. Well, they just loaded like a coal truck up with dead chickens that died in the chicken house, and it set over the weekend before anybody moved it. Yeah. I guess it was Monday. They were taking the chickens to dump them somewhere, and whoever was driving the truck, when they go around a curve or when they stopped and started, it was sloshing chickens out of the back of the truck.
Oh, man.
And he come through Asheville, and that's when I was coaching then. I was coming up here during the summer to do work on the field, whatever, which probably changed now with those sprinklers we talked about last podcast, those 32 sprinklers. Those 30, and I fell in one of those holes, by the way, that one of those graves up there. Yeah, I was up there by myself and fell in. But I was coming up here and I smelled something, and it was awful. It was bad. It's like the worst smell I ever smelled in my life. Going up the hill, the town smelled like it. And a policeman had the truck pulled over right here in front of the school when I went by. But, people were driving through those chickens that were on the road. And
they were driving through?
Yeah, it was getting stuck to their tires and cars and stuff. It was bad, man.
And so the whole town smelled like
dead chickens. Yeah, the whole town
chickens.
smelled like dead chickens. Yeah, it was bad.
So
real bad.
The town has had issues with roadkill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Farm animal roadkill.
That was bad right there. Chicken.
And runaway vehicles. The cow, how does a cow manage... How does a cow manage to be slaughtered by a vehicle at a roundabout? Because the goal of a roundabout is to control the speed of traffic, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's past a roundabout. So in the direction that I'm aware of, the south part of the roundabout, you're out of the roundabout. You're gaining speed because you're coming up on a small hill at that point. So I feel like it's that straightaway. They're probably gaining up speed at that point.
So
I
it's
don't know
not
exactly.
at the roundabout.
It's not
beyond
at the
roundabout.
It's beyond the roundabout.
Towards
it was not right there in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it happened right there at the roundabout, we should put a monument of that cow right there in the middle of that. If it happened right there,
It reminds me of what is that, Twister, where the cow's going around and the girl goes, "We got cows."
Hey, that when that truck ran through Asheville, that 18-wheeler under the red light, that's when we practiced over at the old football field. And we'd get out of school about 2:45 and go over to the old football field. And I think it ran through town about 3:15. So all that traffic was backed up, too, all the school traffic. But it had just cleared out. And that was in the days when you was practicing football over there. Yeah. Everybody would load up and head over there.
Wow. And you'd always carry what?
Well, I would always load up.
You and John, right?
Well, John Gross. He would be kind enough to give me a ride over there because I couldn't get over there. I couldn't drive then. And me and him and Mark Tipton, I remember we'd all get in his long yellow Buick. We'd always listen to Billy Ocean cassette tape on the way over. And
that is a mental picture, man.
Oh,
Billy Ocean in a long
he was
yellow
huge
Buick.
Then. Billy Ocean, what if one of those long Buicks at that time in the 80s? Buick.
88.
The long front end, small.
Like an 88?
I don't know what it was. Buick. Or maybe a Pontiac. I bet that's what it was. A Pontiac. Yeah,
a yellow Pontiac?
Yeah, a yellow Pontiac. Billy Ocean. We just loaded up, headed over, and then
how do you remember Billy Ocean specifically?
Well, I just remember that.
You just remember Billy Ocean?
Yeah, I guess that.
This is the first
Billy
time.
Ocean was huge.
Billy Ocean, that Billy Ocean?
Yeah, Billy Ocean, it was the Caribbean Queen cassette. That was huge now.
1984?
Yeah, that'd be about right.
Queen?
Yeah.
No More Love?
Yeah. That was huge. That's probably the number one album that year.
Really?
Had to be.
The very best of, let's see.
Caribbean Queen. There's another song on there that was real good. I don't know. Was that Get Into My Car? I don't think it was on there.
So you are you a Billy Ocean fan?
Yeah, I liked that. I had to listen to it every day. So it grew on me, yeah. Yeah, I had that. I had that cassette tape, too.
You had Billy Ocean?
Yeah, Billy Ocean. That was huge. That had to have been the number one album that year.
Is Billy Ocean his real name?
I don't know.
There's no way.
It's probably a stage name.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Billy Ocean.
Yeah, he was good. He's good.
Yellow Pontiac.
Yeah,
potentially
yellow Pontiac.
Buick. Like, when y'all listen, I wish there was a way for us.
Is it Bonneville? Pontiac? Did it make a Bonneville? It was a Bonneville, I think. Long front end. Small back end. Huge. I don't see how you
Had
kept
a
from running.
V12 in it, and we got 4 miles of the gallon.
I don't see how
Back
you
down the driveway, fill it up.
Yep, fill it up.
Fill it up, back down the driveway, fill it up again.
It's huge.
Fill it up. I don't know. I wish there was the way that we could talk to our audience as they're listening to us.
Yeah.
Or see their reaction, because I'm sure there are people out there
we're
that
talking
have
to them as they listen to us.
There are people out there that are listening to this that have probably, never experienced life like what he just described.
No.
And then there are people that we know that are listening to this that lived through the events that he just told us about. They're like, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah.
It was a mad, you had to figure out at my age at that time, 13, 14, you were just on your own.
Yeah.
We're having practice at this time.
Yep.
You just need to be there. And you had to get a ride, or a lot of people, I guess, rode the bus and got off in Asheville and walked up there. But it was just a mad rush to get over there. You'd ride in the back of a truck. I remember the manager at the time, Brent Wilson. You might just load up in the back of his El Camino. There might be 10.
El Camino.
There might be 10 people loaded up in the back of his El Camino, and you'd listen to what was that, Lone Ranger cassette tape. If you was riding with Brent Wilson, he had that. Yeah, there'll be 10 of you in the El Camino. You might get over there that way, or it might be something
The fact
different
that
the next day.
Cucaracha's not playing coming out of the El Camino is just a missed opportunity.
Missed opportunity. Driving down Gallus Hill, going into town, playing like Cucaracha.
Or low rider.
You just got to said we're practicing this time. Just be there. So we just.
Do you realize that you are describing like the quintessential when the Soviets theorized about invading the United States, they had to theorize about people like you in those moments. You know what I'm saying? That is so quintessentially like 20th century American. I can't describe, 'cause kids nowadays don't have experiences like that.
Yeah, no, that was you just got there.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And see, that's one of the things that I try to do with my son now is, try to not so much raise him exactly like that. Like, I understand and I have a hand in what's going on, but at the same time, I was like, okay, go figure it out. You need to be here at this time. Make sure you're there. If you're not, you're in trouble. Like, I try to give him that little push to kind of figure it out himself. Even now, he's 13 now, so about the same time frame you're talking about. But, at the same time, I know what's going on, but at the same time, I try to let him kind of experience it and figure it out on his own as well. So, and that's all I got to say about that.
and there it is. Okay, Tom Hanks. All right, thank you for that. So, I mean, when you talk about like, okay, the chicken truck,
That was bad, real bad,
spilling chickens out all over the road, the cow getting hit. Okay, let's talk about the fact that there is a Facebook page. What's happening in Asheville?
Well,
where people go to. Okay, have y'all seen have y'all heard that big boom?
Oh,
the boom.
It's like once a week. Anybody else hear that big boom come over about 3:45?
Yeah, I heard that. It's a Pelham Range.
Yeah,
it's a Pelham Range.
Is it Pelham Range or is it F-16 breaking the sound barrier?
I don't know.
John Pelham, War Between the States, right?
Yeah.
Name for John Pelham. Yeah. Was there a bang last night? I heard something last night. Was there one last night?
I don't know. But you do hear it all the time. Like you see that on Facebook all the time.
It's all the time.
Yeah, I heard something last night. I did all I could do. I got up and looked out the window and then went back to bed. That's about all I can do.
People in New York City and Los Angeles and Houston and New Orleans, they don't experience that.
No,
they don't experience.
They also
that
don't listen to this
lifestyle.
podcast, but keep going.
That's also true. That is also we have people in Germany, Zambia, South Africa, Australia,
John
France,
Pelham,
England. They all listen to
the
this
gallant
podcast.
Pelham. Look it up.
Listen to these idiots.
That is a great French accent.
It's supposed to be German, but okay.
Oh no! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah, I think that's really cool that we can sit here and enjoy those aspects of life, because to us that's just life in Asheville. To somebody else,
happening
it's not,
again.
What?
No, just that's the way we look at it. It's like, it's happened again.
But when you look at
There's that boom again. There's that cow again.
When you try to extract yourself from the situation and you look at it from this different perspective, it is very funny, but it's also very like, man, I'm glad I lived that way.
Because it's so unique.
It is.
I mean,
it is very like. How many people get to say
7.
they have a podcast with one of their teachers?
Ooh. None that I'm aware
that still live. Like he was our teacher,
right?
And now I work with him.
This is everybody's hometown podcast.
It is.
It really is.
It is. This is everybody's hometown podcast.
Should be our subtitle. Your hometown podcast.
Well, he wants to make
it. So
he wants to make it our motto.
Oh, really?
That's our motto, right?
It is now.
Well, it is now. We've said it.
No matter where you are, it's your hometown.
It's your hometown podcast.
There we go.
And so when we get shirts made, it's going to be on the shirt.
Okay.
I think we're just going to get your hometown podcast on the above the left breast, and then on the back it'll be the logo.
And at the bottom of the shirt, it needs to say exit only down here.
With an arrow.
Right on the
With an
tail.
arrow down.
Right on the
yeah,
tail.
By the way, shirts.
Macho
Carrie
Man
actually got me this shirt. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Shout out to Carrie. She'll listen to this.
She will. She'll love it.
Yeah.
And I saw that I think Circle Network's going to have a special on Randy Travis.
Really?
Coming up pretty soon.
What's Circle Network?
Yeah, I was going to say, what's Circle
Well,
Network?
that's the Opry. The Opry's on that. I watch
Oh,
that
that's
every
right.
night.
That's right. Yeah,
I mean, every Saturday
do you watch
night I watch
RFD
it.
TV?
Well, I have before, but I mean, not religiously.
Hee Haw?
Well, I watched Hee Haw when it was actually on.
Do you watch the rerun?
No, I don't need to go back and watch the reruns. I guess I would watch one if I wanted to.
I watched the reruns of Hee Haw.
Can I say the only thing I remember about live Hee Haw was a joke that there was a and I for the life of me I can't remember the two comedians, but they're two comedians and they're living together, and one of them comes in and says, "Yep, I've got underwear for every day of the week. I got 7 pairs of underwear, one for every day of the week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday." And the guy just kind of looks at it and says, 7? Well, I got 12. He says, "What do you have 12 for?" He goes, "January, February, March, April."
And
I was little. I was like, "Mom, why wouldn't he just wear why wouldn't he just wear those every day of the week?" She says he's trying to insinuate that he only changes his underwear once a month.
Yeah.
So, 6-year-old Clint didn't get that.
Clint's brain struggled to get the joke. Yeah.
Could Hee Haw be on today?
No.
I don't think you couldn't be on today.
I think
they
it could be on. I don't think it would be near as popular because of the demographic that they were trying to get into, the southern, the country demographic.
It is funny.
That was a strong demographic
It
back then,
really
wasn't
was.
It?
It
That
really
country,
was.
western, southern.
Well, because you had your pop music, but there was a lot of country music that was mainstream at the time because that's kind of all there was. Like you see it now, it's not like
rock
that
and
anymore.
roll was an up and comer.
Right.
Pop was an up and comer.
Right.
It wasn't the
Like
main genre.
your Conway Twitty and artists
George
like that,
Jones,
George Jones, they were kind of
Wynette.
crossover and they were big.
So we're
Hey,
gonna talk about country music now.
Okay,
We're
we don't have to.
Go ahead, because I got a comment.
Okay,
I wanna
well, I'm
make.
just
What's your
saying
comment?
that back in that time that that was kind of the thing.
It was.
you know.
They were Hollywood and the entertainment industry in general. I think paid a little more. They paid a little more attention to that subsect of America.
Well, you
Not
probably
that-
still had country music back then.
real country music
Yeah.
is what you're showing. Speaking of that, well, never mind. That's my recommendation. I won't get into that. But real country music, definitely, I would say the golden days of country music.
Like there's too many lanes for
Yes.
country music today.
Yeah.
Used
Yes.
to, like what you're talking about, it was just a 2-lane road
Sure.
or a 1-lane,
Country
whatever you want to
western.
say.
Country
But
western.
it's like 6-8 mile lane of interstate. I mean, everything's country music.
Yeah.
It's
now.
a really good metaphor.
It is.
I'm
Which-
really impressed by that.
That is
metaphor.
very good.
Because I was just thinking about that this morning. I mean, they try to make all these people country artists. And I mean, I like them. But like Sheryl Crow. I like Sheryl Crow. But that's not country. Even Darius Rucker, they try to make him country music. Which he was, and I enjoy his songs and everything, but it's just like they want to fit.
Old Crow
he's
Medicine
Hootie.
Show's
Well,
version
he's
is still
Hootie and
better.
Blowfish to me.
Right.
Which he is. But the Sheryl Crow, I like her. I like Darius Rucker. I mean, Jason is, I like him, but then they try to make him country. But see, that's not country music to me. They got their own genres.
But
but they're trying to make them fit in the
it's
country.
like, okay, they've split pop music so many times that these artists don't fit in that genre anymore. So let's put them in this new country genre pop. Because Sheryl Crow, Jewel, Kelly Clarkson, I think is technically country now.
Shania Twain. What do y'all think about Shania Twain?
Well, she was country, then made it to pop, and I don't know really where she fits.
I didn't know she's
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift started out country. Now she's kind of
She's
pop.
big pop.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know Shania Twain had been anything besides a country artist.
Well, I mean, she made it mainstream. I mean, for a while.
She's been in the country music a long time. Like when she first came into country music, it says early 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
She's
Early
been
to
in there a long
mid-90s,
time. Yeah, she's been there a long time.
Yeah, I
But,
think she's one of the top selling female artists of all time.
Yeah.
Of any genre, I think.
But I watched one
Carrie
of those.
Underwood's another one. Started country.
No, wait a minute. No, wait a minute. Don't start talking about Carrie Underwood now.
Oh,
Are you- Is she not country anymore?
Well, she kind of transitioned more mainstream, I
Did she?
felt like.
I think she has. That's hard to tell. It's because it's all subjective.
Oh, she's
Yeah,
one of
it
my
is.
favorites, so
It's all-
I really like her. She had me, man. When I
What about
first saw
Gretchen
her.
Wilson? You remember Gretchen Wilson?
Oh, my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, I like some of her stuff. Now, Carrie Underwood, I saw her open up for Brad Paisley right after she won that American Idol. It was really good.
Yeah.
But like the country music shows, I can't watch those anymore. I watched the last one that was on. I guess it was the CMAs or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I got through watching it, I'm like, I just watched the CMAs, I think.
Yeah.
You know, so
and they're trying to, you know, I'm not going to go down that road. We're good.
I'm done.
But the entertainment industry, it has. I think that's our point that we're trying to make. It's shifted, right? It's not that has that audience gone away. I don't think so. I think life is just people's tastes have changed.
Right, everything's
a tad bit.
Well, if it doesn't group into anything specific, group it as country music is like where it's at right now. But let me ask you guys one thing: where's Johnny Cash? Don't say dead. I know that.
Well, I was going to say dead.
Well, I think he's as country as it gets. That is country.
What about Hurt? What about Hurt? His 2003, 2004 hit. The last one before he died.
It's a cover.
Yeah. Is it country?
Hurt. I don't know. I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even know Hurt. I have no idea. God. I have no idea.
We can't play it on air.
What genre of music is that?
Well, it's a Nine Inch Nails song, which is...
Well, I don't... I've never listened to any of that anyway.
But
I don't know.
In my opinion...
His is way better.
His version...
He nailed
and what's his name?
The pain in his song.
Is it Trent Reznor? Who's Nine Inch Nails guy?
That sounds right.
He said that's Johnny Cash. That's Johnny's song.
You talking about Johnny Cash?
Yeah.
Well, see, so that is country music to me. Johnny Cash and people like the Statler Brothers and all that kind of stuff. You know, when the Statler Brothers was they were his backup band.
But see, even at the
time, it is Trent Reznor.
Even at the time, people didn't really resonate. It's the same thing with Hank Williams Jr. People didn't resonate that kind of music with country music at the time because it didn't fit the genre,
the norm
at that time. Now we all consider it that, but even Johnny Cash is like, I don't think I'm really a country artist. He's like, I'm just an artist. So
that has a certain sound,
right?
That has a certain sound.
And that's why.
And a lot of artists, I feel like, are that way. It's not that hey, I didn't grow up to become a country music artist. I grew up to become a musician,
sure,
and to make money at this craft and to do what I love. And y'all can classify it. Y'all can put it in a genre. I'm not saying every artist out there does that, but I'm sure that there are a lot of artists out there that make it big. They're like, okay, whatever. I don't care what genre my music is in. I'm going to make my music regardless.
Yeah.
You know.
Because at the end of the day, if you're good and if you resonate with people, they're going to come to you, whether you're a country artist or a rock artist or a pop artist.
Now, Hank Jr. mentioned him. I think the best country song ever written was Hank Williams. I'm So Lonesome.
That's Senior.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I said Hank Williams.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't say Jr.
I thought,
Hank Williams Senior.
Okay.
Well, it's just
I
Hank.
agree.
I think that's I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry.
I don't know if that's the best.
I think if you hear I don't think he had the best voice. But if you hear somebody sing that song that can really sing, man, I tell you, it's just it's fantastic.
What's your opinion of Vince Gill?
Well, I almost got arrested one time listening to Vince Gill.
Okay, you got to tell that story.
Yes.
You got.
Well, this is June Jam story, but I don't know if I can.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Y'all don't want me to get off on a June Jam.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. Okay. I was just talking about this yesterday to my wife.
Going.
We were listening to Diamond Rio. And,
I love Diamond Rio. Sorry, go ahead.
That song Mirror Mirror was on. See, people that didn't want to go to the June Jam just don't understand. That song was on, and I was telling her, my best friend at the June Jam one time, I was telling her, well, this is about the time that my best friend got the Congo line started. Because I was talking to her about when it got dark at the June Jam. I mean, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, and
like Woodstock crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we would work our way down from the back by this time that Diamond Rio would come on to the front. We'd be down in the front. But he had got that Congo line started during Diamond Rio and all that kind of stuff. But earlier in the day one time, Vince Gill was on, and I can't tell.
Yeah, you can tell.
You got to now.
The statute of limitations are gone.
Yeah.
Well, there was some folks over beside us that brought in some stuff.
Oh, I've heard this story.
They shouldn't bring in, and they got raided, and I just kind of got mixed up in it. And I thought I was going to get took in too.
Yeah, but you didn't.
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
They just told me very forcefully that they better not have to come back up there again.
And they didn't. So you were fine, right?
Oh, yeah, we're fine. We're fine.
Now, the June Jam, there was a time where y'all got front row or
that was, I've already told about that. Those last few, I was on the very front.
Yeah.
very front. The time that this happened.
This was the height of the June Jam.
Oh, it was
craze.
Yeah. All that happened. Now the Alabama Symphony Orchestra was there one time.
How was
at
that?
the June Jam? It was fantastic. And I'm not even an orchestra person, but they were there. They played at the very end of the June Jam, like at midnight or 1 o'clock one night. Usually Alabama would play last, and they did play last. And then the Alabama Symphony Orchestra showed up, and they played after Alabama. Usually Alabama would do My Home's in Alabama at the very end.
Right.
So Alabama stopped their show, and they let the Alabama Symphony Orchestra play a little while. And you've got to, and I'm not an orchestra person, but this was pretty good, though, when they played. And you got to think this is just down in a cow pasture. This is country music.
In DeKalb County.
Yeah, in DeKalb County. These are, country music fans. They've been out in the sun all day. It's late. It's midnight, 1 o'clock.
They're drinking water.
Drinking water.
Yeah,
This is not your symphony crowd.
Right.
At the June Jam. And they stopped the show and let them play. And
did anybody boo when they figured out this was happening?
This is what happened, because this is not your symphony crowd. Earlier in the day, I'd watched a guy, I think I've talked about this before, cut his jeans off with a pocket knife because he got so hot. Had jeans on, so he just made him some jorts right there. That had happened. Stuff like that was going on.
Instant jorts.
Yeah, with a pocket knife. And he did a good job, too, cutting them off.
Him.
Now, the director of the symphony at this event, this is a country show in a cow pasture, he says to the crowd, he says, "And now we're going to play for you the 1812 Overture."
What?
And, yeah.
What?
The 1812 Overture. That's
Overture.
Yeah. And, this guy, the director, conductor, he's not from this area.
Obviously.
With this country music crowd. So he says that. "And now we're going to play for you the 1812 Overture. Do you want to hear it?" And everybody just stares at him.
Yeah.
Silence.
Silence. Yeah, complete silence.
No way.
And then he says, "Do you want to hear it?" And there's a few people clap, and then he says it again. "Do you want to hear it?" And everybody just goes nuts. It's like, we don't know what you're going to play. We have no idea. But
What's the 1812 Overture?
Yes! We've drunk a lot of water!
Just give it to us, And then they played it and did that, and it was pretty good. And then Alabama finished up the show.
It was so they actually played the 1812 Overture.
Yeah,
Do you want to hear
the
theme song from Bonanza?
Hey, now I've heard them do that before, and I've heard them do it, and I really enjoyed that. That was over at Pelham Range.
Well, it's full circle.
We wrote this episode. We wrote all of this
because I did a little Civil War or War Between the States reenacting
going with it
on an artillery group. And they would, over at Pelham Range or over at Fort McClellan, they would let the symphony play over there. They played over there every year. And so our reenactment group would go over there, and we would actually fire the cannons during that 1812 Overture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We had about 12 cannons over there, and then there would be somebody back there pointing at us exactly when they wanted us to shoot. And we'd fire them off, boom, boom, one at a time.
I bet that was cool.
Awesome.
But see,
I bet the sound of that was cool.
But the one time that they did do themes from old Western movies and shows when I was over there and played. Yeah, they would play stuff like that, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It was good.
There you go.
But
The Alabama Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah. Now years ago, I hated it. I'd get drugged to the Alabama Symphony Orchestra and stuff like that.
And it's just boring old French music.
It was awful. But that at Fort McClellan, that was pretty cool though with the cannons.
You hate the French.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
We've talked about that.
Yeah.
But
French Canadian.
Yeah, any French person.
Yeah, that conductor, he's probably from France.
Probably so.
What did he say?
Oh. And now we're going to play for you the 1812 Overture. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Who do you want to hear?
Here's your car right here.
Yeah.
Here yours. Sorry. I love it when he. Anyway,
guys, for us to not have any direction on this show,
it always works out.
It always works out because we literally 40 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, called David and said, "Hey, we're going to record. Do you want to?"
Yeah, the phone call.
The phone call itself was pretty good.
Was great. What were you doing before you came here?
Using the restroom.
What?
10-100, 10-200.
10-100.
Okay.
We were wrong.
We looked up the side effects of that. Whatever it was.
Did you see the very last one?
Was it the last one?
I couldn't tell because of the way it did it. It was like
Was it?
Now I'm doing
always happens, sometimes happens, rarely happens.
Now yesterday I did a test on it, and I was okay yesterday. And I'm going to do another test this evening on it.
I think the last one said it would make your home rate mortgage go down or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. Now other things I didn't like doing when I was growing up, besides the symphony orchestra, was having to watch Gone with the Wind. I didn't like that.
You did not. I've never seen it.
Like when you're 6 years old, you don't want to have to sit there and watch Gone with the Wind
for 3 hours.
Well, they would divide it up into a 2-night event.
Yeah, you only had an intervention.
Well, at that time, I had to have an intervention. I had to have an intervention after it was over with because we had one TV, 3 TV stations, and I had to watch it 2 nights in a row. What am I going to do?
Has scarred me for life.
Intermission.
And then they dragged me to the orchestra.
And I never want to ride a horse
my
again.
dear, I don't give a.
It's the first time anybody ever cursed in a movie.
Yeah. You know, the first time. Oh, I've already said that. Never mind. Have I already said that on this podcast? The first time the flushing toilet.
Yeah.
Okay. Was Alfred Hitchcock?
Yeah.
Psycho.
Yeah. And we talked about the first time the toilet was shown was Leave It to Beaver.
That episode.
First time that a couple was shown in the same bed together was Fred and Wilma.
The Flintstones.
And the first time flatulence was on recorded screen was Blazing Saddles.
Did you know George Jetson was born this year?
I did not.
How about that?
Whew.
Fun fact. Did you know that? Did you grow up watching the Jetsons?
Yeah, I watched the Jetsons, but I wasn't a big cartoon. I was a Saturday morning because the only time we could watch them was Saturday morning.
Oh yeah,
and I just
have
watched,
a network. Yeah,
I just watched Super Friends. We're talking about that the other day.
We were.
The original Super Friends.
I don't know what that is.
Y'all start talking to me about what's a DC and
DC versus Marvel.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I just watched Super Friends. I thought Spider-Man was on there with them, but evidently
Super
wasn't.
Friends?
Super Friends DC. It's Superman and Batman and Robin and Wonder Woman and
okay, gotcha.
Aquaman was on there.
Aquaman, yeah.
Aquaman. Was he your favorite?
Oh, those are my favorites from whoever was on there. Was Wonder Woman not on there?
Yeah,
with them.
Yeah.
Katy Perry would be a good Wonder Woman if they want to make a movie. A Wonder Woman movie, she'd be a good one.
You know, if we could, what we need to do, Clint, is we need to take our group chat, the Talk or Go Homers group chat, and we need to take every series of conversation and just make them into skits.
She would. She'd be
bad skits, because I'm not going to read you the private conversations that we have.
I can't think of a better Wonder Woman she would be.
But I said today, we're recording in an hour. See y'all then. Clint Thompson. Okay, on my way. Me, Tracey Lawrence is the guest. David Murphree. Tom Brady is a pretty good quarterback. That's every conversation that we have. There's no rhyme or reason. No. There's no flow. Just like this episode, there's no rhyme or reason to what we're talking about.
And I do think that we did that Smoking the Bandit episode.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been watching that Dark List or Black List that you told me to watch.
Yeah.
I think the girl that's on there, I don't know her name. I think she would be a good frog on Smoking the Bandit if they redid it. You know what we're talking about people redoing?
Yeah.
I've been watching that.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I'm on the 11th episode of season 1. It gives me something real good to watch when I'm on the exercising on treadmill and stuff. But yeah, it's been pretty good. It'll keep your attention. I just need something to keep my attention.
Well, in every episode, somebody's a little different, but the story kind of keeps continuing on too. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think you would like person of interest as well.
Okay.
Person of interest is
that'd
the
be
guy
right up here.
that he played Benjamin Linus in Lost. What was his name? Michael Emerson.
Yeah.
You know where he got his acting start?
Alabama.
The Alabama Shakespeare Festival.
Yep.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
and because Person of Interest was an interesting concept of a show.
You enjoyed it. You personally would enjoy it.
Speaking of interesting stuff that we like, what are our recommendations? Who wants to start?
I'll start. Carrie and I started a new show the other night, new to us. Fargo, the TV show Fargo. I'd never seen.
Now, hold on a minute. Time out for a second.
So I also would like to recommend that.
All right, now you're watching season 1 of the TV show.
Yes.
Have you watched the movie?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be sure you watched the movie first.
Yeah.
So you want to? I've seen the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the movie and the TV show. Love the movie. Do you want to know who recommended to me to watch the TV show?
Probably that one right there.
This guy right here. He's the one. I didn't even know that was a TV show. He's the one that told me about it.
Yeah, there's like 6 seasons, and it kind of goes all over the place like in later seasons, but this first season's been really good. I've enjoyed it.
Season 1 is really good.
Yeah, that season 1 ties in good with the film.
With the film, yeah.
Season 1 and Season 2. Season 2 does too, but it's in a way that you don't realize that it does until the very end.
Sure.
But season 3, it kind of goes
right.
I'm not gonna
out there.
Yeah, but anyway, so that's a really good recommendation. I love the movie. The Coen brothers are really awesome. I love their filmmaking, and the show in its early stages was really, really good. You liked it too.
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. One of the best TV shows ever.
The acting was really good.
Not to spoil
really
anything,
good.
But when he's about to get caught and he just lowers his head and runs into that wall and passes out, that I laughed out loud at that point. It's kind of dark at the point. Don't get me wrong. But he's like, okay, got to do it. And he just takes this head down and runs that cement wall. Just
that's Coen brothers humor, though. It's that dark, sadistic kind of humor,
right?
And it's funny.
Yeah,
it's really, really, really funny.
And the thing about that Fargo, for the longest, I really did think it was a true story.
Yeah, I think I'm the one that.
Yeah, I always thought it was true because they just said it was true.
Well, I mean, every episode starts with this is true story. The events.
They're
blah,
mocking
blah, blah.
those things.
Yes,
and I didn't know that until I started doing research on the movie and the show. And then I read that somewhere, and I'm like, "There's no way." And I kept doing more and more research, and it's like, yeah, they interviewed the Coen brothers about it. And it's like, yeah, we just did that.
Is that 96? Is that when the movie come out? About 96,
so. 94. It was mid 90s.
Because I didn't watch it in the theaters or anything. It just won all the awards at the awards show, and then for some reason I watched it, and then and that's a cultural reference that a lot of young people don't get today. It's like the wood chipper stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. They don't understand where that comes from.
It's a little, I don't know, it's fun because it's a throwback to another time,
And you'd have to understand, You'd have to understand. It's like when Game Day went to Fargo a few years ago. Do this, they had a wood chipper right by the stage, sitting by the stage, and if you didn't know about that,
you didn't catch it,
you wouldn't get that reference.
You don't understand that. You just,
But yeah, what's your recommendation?
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and do this one.
Because he's got 10, ladies and
several.
gentlemen.
Well, I feel like I hurt y'all's feelings on a couple episodes ago when I said Robin Williams wasn't funny.
Okay.
So I feel like I may have hurt your feelings. So I've been trying. I really have been trying. I never watched Good Morning Vietnam, but I watched it. And I enjoyed it. It was good. I'm going to recommend that. Now, I recommend Good Morning Vietnam. And I'm going to try to go watch some old David Letterman shows with Robin Williams on there.
Yeah.
And watch them again and see if I like it any better.
Have you ever seen a stand-up?
I don't.
That was a painful statement.
That was.
You saw,
yeah, it hurted for me just to ask that question. So
I will say, much like this podcast, there's no rhyme or reason to Robin Williams interviews. So when you go, don't expect a whole lot because, David Letterman asked him a question, and the next thing you know, he's doing some silly impersonation.
But is there any rhyme or reason to his stand-up? It looks like he would be all over the place on stand-up.
It is.
It is all over the place, but there is an
overarching.
There is an overarching theme to his stand-up.
Right.
Well, it looks like to me he would do his stand-up like we did this show.
Kind of, sort of. But he's actually got structure to it where we don't.
Well, we have a theme. We just figure it out once we get there. But
what was the theme of this?
Of today's episode?
Yeah.
We're your hometown podcast.
Okay, Robin Williams. Now, I did tell you
he didn't think that was funny at all.
I did tell you that I've watched a lot of his movies. I mean, I was watching Mork and Mindy before y'all were ever born, where he got his start. So I watched him on TV, and I watched a lot of his movies.
Nanu.
Yeah. I mean,
lots of drugs.
Yeah.
Lots of drugs.
Like that movie Patch Adams, and he's in one of my favorite movies of all time. He's probably in one of my favorite movies of all time. I've got this at home. I bought it, and he's probably in the worst movie that I've ever seen also. So he covers both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. What are those two movies?
Yeah.
Well, The Best of Times.
Okay.
The football film. Have y'all seen that?
I haven't seen it. It's Shay's favorite football movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if y'all never seen it, you need to watch that.
Is that your favorite movie of all time? Or your?
Well, that's one of them. I bought it.
Your favorite Robin Williams
Well,
movie?
that's one. I think it's going to be one of my favorites of all time, probably. It's going to be...
Top 5, top 10?
Yeah, probably top 10 at least. The Best of Times. I watched it a lot. It was really good. I liked it. Kurt Russell's in there, too. The Best of Times.
Worst movie?
Probably that one he was in called the What Dreams May Come. I guess I need to go back and watch that because I saw that at the
It's a
theater.
fantasy movie.
Yeah,
I saw it at the
fantasy
theater.
movie, right?
But yeah, and the writer of that movie wrote something that me and you both have talked about before that we like.
Yes,
But I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head.
So, Dead Poet Society. You ever
I
seen
saw
it?
that. I
Okay.
think I saw that in the theater. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness, what else?
I thought, like I said, Patch Adams. I thought
Patch
that was
Adams.
good.
Good Will Hunting.
I think I've watched that.
Okay.
I have to go back.
See, to me, like the obviously Aladdin, like that's probably his best work. I feel like almost, but like one that resonates with me because I was young whenever it come out was that movie Jack, and like it gets terrible reviews, and I love that movie. You remember that one?
Yeah.
I was gonna print out a list of all
There
his
you go.
movies. His filmology or whatever.
He wrote the guy that wrote
What Dreams May Come.
wrote Rain Man.
No, there's something else I'm thinking of.
Are you talking about the author of the
I'm-
book?
I'm thinking that guy that wrote What Dreams May Come had something to do with the Duel film that Spielberg. Didn't Spielberg, isn't that his first movie? For some reason, I want to say, or it may not. I may be way off.
Ronald Bass wrote the screenplay.
I may be way off, but he wrote something that we both like and talked. That's why I was so shocked that I hated that so bad because that guy wrote something I liked real good.
Yeah.
That was awful though. Maybe I need to go back and watch it again. But I did not understand any of it. And
There's a book that goes with it written by Richard Matheson. So I'm sure that there's obviously a lot that was probably left on the cutting room floor from the book to the movie. And so that's probably why usually that happens when you're using a book or some other form of media to inspire a film. A lot gets left out and it hurts the film.
yes, I thought it was bad.
So tell us more though about Good Morning Vietnam. What was your overall opinion of that movie? Just kind of moving on from Robin Williams specifically, what about that movie did you like and what about it did you not like?
Well, I'd always knew or thought that it was based on a true story. That guy really, and
Adrian
that,
Cronauer.
yeah, that was based on a true story. And I should have caught this in the film, the Viet Cong part. The young guy in the film when the restaurant, he gets Robin Williams out of there, the Cronauer, where he gets him out right before it blows up. And I was like, right then you think, well, something's going on. But it didn't dawn on me right then that he was Viet Cong.
That he was working for Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah. When the movie ended, how it ended, were you satisfied with how the movie ended? Or were you like, okay, why is it leaving me like that?
Well, I didn't follow up and see what he did afterwards. I guess that's the only thing I would wonder about is his career after he left.
The first time I saw the movie, I was kind of like, okay, that's how they're going to end that. Which, I mean, it is based on, not all of those events played out like that in his life, but it is based on a real guy's life. And I understand that, in real life, you're not going to be able to tie things up in a bow and whatever. I thought the movie was really, really good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed those bits with him in the radio station where he, Hanoi, Hannah, and he's going crazy and doing all those things. I enjoyed that. I also enjoyed Forrest Whitaker's character and kind of the balance that he provided to Cronauer's character. And
what about the love story part? Was that just thrown in there for a movie, or was that true too?
I don't know.
Well, I guess him leaving, just forgetting about the girl. I guess that's kind of bad, kind of sad. I guess for him.
I like the Vietnam War though. I like studying the Vietnam War just because it is such a complicated. It's such a complicated conflict, and it's so different from World War II, even though they were only basically 15, 20 years apart. It's two very different conflicts, very different types of conflict. So the movie, I feel like, is a really, really, really good... I feel like it captures that complexity really well. I like the film because of that. I like it because of Robin Williams, and I'm a Robin Williams guy. But my recommendation, moving on, I guess, is going to be John Michael Montgomery's song "Sold." So what? Do you like that song?
Yeah, I like John Michael Montgomery.
You like Sold?
There's songs that's from my
Grundy County
Auction song. Yeah,
Oh
Sold.
my goodness.
Why?
Okay, no. I was about to ask you the exact same reason. So let's go. Why?
Because it is so fun to sing. It is so fun to sing.
Okay.
That's why I like it.
I went down to the ground.
And it's when you talk about country music, do y'all consider that classic country? What is that?
Yeah,
it is now because that's going to be 30 years ago.
Yeah, that was early 90s, right?
Yeah.
Do you like that song?
I like some of the other ones he's got better.
Like Letters from Home?
No, there's one.
Like
what's that one
That's a
where
great song.
when I was 18, I was falling fast for a
Blue-eyed
girl in my homeroom class. I like that.
I don't even know.
I
I don't think I've heard that one. If I have, I hadn't registered. But
hold on.
I can sing
Life's
it.
a dance.
Yeah, I like.
Life's a dance.
Yeah, I like that
learn
one.
as you go.
And I love that. I guess what he struck it big with. I love the way you love me. I guess.
Yeah, I think that was his big.
Yeah,
breakout.
that's gonna be 91, 92, right in there. That's gonna be 30.
What
years
happened
ago.
to him? What does he do now?
I think he's still
tours
out
and
there.
sings.
Yeah.
His cousin was
Montgomery Gentry.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Montgomery from Montgomery Gentry was his cousin, I believe it is.
First cousin, something like that.
Something like that.
That is interesting.
Now the other guy, he got killed in a plane crash. I think?
Helicopter.
Yeah,
Helicopter. That might
crash.
be his brother.
I don't think it's his
Is it
brother.
not?
I don't think it's that close. I think it's cousin.
But they're related somehow.
Yes,
Okay. Okay. So, a lot of musical talent in that family.
well, at least two anyway.
Well, yeah. At least, yeah.
Give me three, then I'll tell you.
Well, that's true. So, I completely lost my train of thought.
Well, John Michael Montgomery, the song,
Yeah.
the
Sold.
Grundy County auction.
Grundy County auction.
Yeah.
He's talking about he falls head over heels in love with this girl, and
At an auction.
at an auction. But in a part of the song, he reflects on how weird that was, how interesting that was when he tells that story. And I don't know, the way the song is written, the way he sings it, the way the music's written, it's upbeat, it's fast paced, but it's a love song, and it's really fun to listen to. I enjoy it.
Okay.
Had a friend of mine shoot a deer off his back porch.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook.
Yeah. Say, look, hey, your hometown podcast.
I've tried to do that before. In a towel.
In a towel?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, what?
Well, in the mornings, I've already told them. After I take my shower and get ready for work and everything. Well, this is at another house that I lived in.
He's sitting on his porch drinking coffee,
Well,
smoking a cigarette in a towel.
Every morning, deer would run behind my house
Sure.
at the same time before I'd come to work. So during the rut, I was thinking, look, I better
do it
watch
now.
this close.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there may be a big buck coming across. But I would take my shower, and I just had a towel on. I'd go out on the back porch with my gun.
And
I
it's
would
cold,
wait.
And it's cold.
It's the rut. It's cold.
Well, because they come through at the same time for the longest time every morning. So I better go out there and get ready in case there is a buck coming through with them.
So you have people that spend thousands of dollars a year for a hunting club membership, for camouflage, for deer pee to be rubbed all over them, and you're out there.
Code Blue. It's the best stuff. Hey, man. Hey, I got a deer so mad at me one evening coming out of the woods. Hey, I got worried. It was bad. It was the last day of the season. But I don't think I had any of that urine on me. I grunted him right to me. Yeah. It was bad. They tell you don't do that on the ground, but I did it. And that thing, whew, it was bad.
What on the ground?
Grunt. When I was coming out of the woods one night, I heard a deer. I think this is the last day of the deer season. I was walking out. It was dark now. I heard leaves.
Cheeks hurt.
Well, I heard leaves rustling.
Were you in a towel?
Camouflage towel. No, I was walking out of the woods. I heard leaves rustling, and it was on away from me a long way. So I took my grunter, and I just hit that grunter. And he comes right to me, and so I could hear him getting closer. I hit that grunter again. And he was right there probably about 20 yards from me. But I never saw him, and I hit that grunter again, and that thing, it jumped up, and boom, hit the ground, started snorting everything and running around, trying to get me to come in there and fight him. You know, and I got behind a tree. I didn't know what I was going to do. All I could do was just shoot if he come out there. So I got behind a tree and got ready. But he just...
Could you imagine David getting up there going...
If he run out there on me, I just go throw my gun. Come on, it's on.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, we had a guy at work that used to tell like just over the top stories, and that was one of them. He grunted a deer up to him, and said that he would get on one side of the tree and smack that deer on the face, and when he turned around and looked, he'd come around the other side of the tree and smack that deer. I mean, it was just way over the top. There's no way it's true, but gosh,
a deer kill you, man. That thing come out on you.
100%.
I'm just glad I didn't have any urine or any of that code blue. That's good stuff, but I guess they still sell it. I'm glad I didn't have none of that stuff on me.
There's the name of the episode right there. Code Blue.
Code Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Now I've actually, after I've killed one in the rut before, got the deer urine off the deer and I put it in a bottle. I've done that before.
You ever? I mean, obviously, do you skin your own deer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I skin them and gut them myself. I just feel like it.
Throw the guts out on Pigpen Road.
Well, no, I just feel like if you're going, Pigpen Road, throw them out there on that. Yeah, I feel like if you're going to shoot one, I just don't feel right about taking it and just dropping it off at a processor and them doing all that. I just do all that myself. Now, I may take it to a processor.
Now, in my opinion, you should gut it.
Yeah, I've always
and then
gutted
take it
them
to the processor.
Yeah, but just shooting one and taking it and letting them gut it and skin it and everything.
That takes the ritual out of it.
Well, that's after you kill one, around with all your buddies and everything. That's your decompression time. That's just part of it. I think standing out there talking.
Well, Kevin killed his the other day, and
not in a towel.
No, he was
maybe at least blue jeans.
He had just gotten done getting ready. He had just yelled to Foo, "Hey,
let's
hurry
go.
up! I'm waiting on you." It was him and Chloe, and next thing he knows, he looks out, he turns around, he looks out, and he sees antlers. He said, "No way!" And he gets his gun, and he looks through his scope, and he said, "Well, by gosh!" And then I'm pulling up as this is happening. I'm pulling up, and I get out of the car, and I hear, "Boom!" And I'm like, "What in the daggone dog crap?" Because it's just on the other side of the house. Foo finally did it.
He made his daddy mad.
just on the other side of the house. And next thing I know, I hear, "That's what I'm talking about." I'm like, "All right, then." And so then we go get the deer, and he gutted it. He cleaned it, gutted it, and then we took it to the processor. But it was, he shot that thing off his back porch. And yes, he is licensed. Sorry, just had to throw that out there. But anyway, so that's I guess that's going to do it for this episode.
Okay.
I guess that's it. We've given our recommendations. Code Blue.
Yeah. No, when I got arrested, but we didn't get arrested. But at the June Jam that time, now we may have all got hauled in, but my best friend, he just stood up and he said, "It's all my fault. Take me in." So they didn't know, but he was just he was going to take.
He was going to sacrifice.
Yeah, he was going to sacrifice himself for.
Can you name this best
everybody?
Friend?
Initial. I don't know if he want me to or not. Initials were MC.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, so. Well, we'll tell you.
But I didn't do nothing wrong. No, I don't know why they was after me.
Yeah, you didn't do anything wrong.
Never.
I was just sitting there in a chair listening to Vince Gill. I don't know. They just come out of nowhere. In DeKalb County, I don't know what they was after me about. But DeKalb County was dry county.
I was about to say they were dry. Weren't they?
Is it still dry?
Is it? I don't know.
I don't think
there was two counties for the longest time in Alabama.
Cherokee,
DeKalb, and Blunt was too.
Yeah, Blunt was dry for a long while.
I don't know if it's still in.
Cherokee was for a long time too.
Well, folks, this has been a very interesting podcast for our German listeners, our European listeners, our worldwide listeners. Anybody outside of Alabama that has no references to what we're talking about, come on to Alabama, come hang out with us for a week, and you'll understand what we're talking about.
Stay at Nick's house.
Well, listen to Mountain Music by Alabama. That'll set your hair on fire.
Yeah, just listen to some Alabama.
Hearing it live at the June Jam.
Listen to some Alabama and some Tracy Lawrence. By the way, you're going to see Tracy Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
So Tracy Lawrence and Clay Walker?
Clay Walker, yeah. Two legends, one night.
Do we still need a room?
No, I got a room we set up. It's gonna
I'm probably gonna go to that too.
Yeah, you should.
I think Luke's gonna go with me. Luke and Hannah.
Yeah, good. It's gonna be good. I really miss. I hadn't seen him in a long time. I miss it. I think George Strait's probably the best all time. Then I got on the Brad Paisley bandwagon, but I'm going back to Tracy Lawrence now. I think he's the best since George Strait.
Hindsight's 2020. So, don't forget, folks, you can
almost stepped on his dog. Almost stepped on his dog one time.
Go home. Go home. Just end it. Go home. Go home. Just end it. Go home.
Go home. Well, actually, it was his wife's dog. You remember I told that story. She's a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Woo.